you all for your patience. We'll begin in a couple more minutes. Well, everyone, and thank you for joining us and for taking the first step towards EBS automation. Let's introduce to our presenters for this session. First, we have Jim Gormley, electrical engineering and computer science graduate from University of California. Jim is a seasoned sales executive with 35 years of industry experience. He understands Oracle and he understands business and needs. Here we see Ranjita Dusa. She's from Western Michigan University in Masters of Engineering. Apps technical consultant, Oracle developer, analyst, Oracle practice manager are the various roles she has performed in her career so far. This is to say that Ranjita is familiar with the day-to-day challenges of working within Oracle EBS. And last is Shiv. I am your host and co-presenter. I did from Annamalai University, India, in Business Administration and Visual Communication. I worked with different organizations like Accenture, Capgemini, Dell, Oracle, so on and so forth. And more often than not, I've observed that most businesses are not getting the maximum value and benefit from their application suites. So without further delay, let's learn what we can change in EBS today to do more and pay less. Objectives we plan to achieve at the end of this webinar are challenges faced within EBS printing and change management, learn Unitask solutions and see a snippet of its architectural look and feel, know about Vigilant technologies and how Unitask has helped customers, who questions you have, and then plan a call to action. This is housekeeping before we begin. If you have any questions during this presentation, please type them into the chat box control panel on the right-hand side and bring them up during the question and answer session. We all agree that a mission-critical application, Oracle EBS provides tremendous value to organizations. There are aspects of it that are a manual burden. That there was a growing need in the market to automate these mundane chores and free up valuable resources time for important projects. With the leadership that we have gained over 2 decades of EBS implementation and support projects, Unitask products were built with a commitment to seamlessly extend the enterprise architecture of EBS. Unitask Output Director engineered to automate your printing needs, and Unitask Migration Director to automate code migrations and change management. The Unitask Command Center, which enhances the administrative view and functionality for both the above products. Let's first look at common challenges that we face with the burden of maintaining printers in Oracle EBS. We've spoken to multiple customers, and here are a few of these challenges. The time and effort taken to configure printers sometimes costs you more than what you had budgeted for. On top of that, manual interventions are prone to frequent errors. User satisfaction is low because they often complain about not being able to preview print output, and traveling, employees don't have the printability at all. Businesses at a Fortune 500 manufacturing company in Michigan always complain to us that they had to send resources all the way to Australia in order to just configure and set up printers. And this was costing them a lot of money in just travel expenses. And none of us are happy when your print drivers are out of date. Let's look at challenges associated with staying current on EBS. Fortunately, as they say, change is the only thing constant. And with changes being so frequent and rapid, there are various issues and concerns that businesses have to deal with to stay current. Inability to schedule migrations during off hours leads to wastage of resources time and is equal to money. Without segregation of duties, compliance and audit becomes a common concern. Migrations can have errors, and without an undo functionality, it can lead to higher downtime of your production environment. Imagine not having the control Z option. And the fear of the unknown. Inability to see the impact of code migrations can be costly and fatal to your environment. Now we are familiar with challenges associated with printing and change management in EBS. Let's understand how Unitask solutions can help combat these issues and make life easier for all of us. This next segment, webinar, we will follow a twofold approach. We will focus on Output Director and on Migration Director, and finally learn about Command Center. Let's move forward and watch a short video on Output Director.
Here's a fun business problem for you. What do you get when you spend $1 million to purchase an Oracle e-business application, plus another $1 million or so on consultants to install and customize your new application? Answer: a great solution that's designed to keep your growing business operating smoothly and efficiently. But there's one teeny tiny little problem with your shiny new application. Your users can't print. So you have a few options. You could, 1, ignore the problem and hope your users won't notice that they can't print, or 2, have your IT staff manually configure each printer, which just might work if you only had 2 printers, but you probably have more like 200 or even 2,000. And let's face it, your staff is too busy to do something as mundane as manually configuring printers down the hall, let alone the location that's 2 flights, 1 train, a cab, and a donkey ride away. Of course, your third option is to hire more staff. Yeah, right, that's not even an option. Or you can choose to automate with Unitask Output Director. Unitask Output Director is an easy, automated solution for lowering the cost and effort associated with traditional output management, enabling users to print, fax, email, and store anything in Oracle e-business applications. Output Director also allows all your users to choose which printer they print to, whether it's the printer across the hall or a printer across the globe. With Unitask Output Director, you can print securely. Since users can easily control which printer they print to, you'll know that confidential information, such as salary figures, will never be lying around a print server room. Set it and forget it. An administrator performs one-time central install of Output Director. There's no need to visit each workstation, and there's no user intervention, ever. Maximize the investment your organization has made in printer hardware by expanding the utilization of printers you already have. So, to sum it up, Unitask Output Director increases productivity for you and everyone around you, gives you notice for delivering better user satisfaction, and gives you an answer for how to keep secret data secret. Output Director decreases the amount of time and money spent on manually intensive jobs, all while maximizing your Oracle EBS investment. With Unitask Output Director, you'll see an ROI in months, not years. So, what do you get when you add all that up? Answer: a much happier you. Why be manual? Automate with Unitask Output Director.
all enjoyed watching that video. You also agree that none of us want our confidential information to be seen by others. So let's understand how can we avoid this. I will now ask Ranjita to share with us the architecture of Migration and Output Director and show us a brief demo of Output Director.
For giving the webinar a great start. Once again, thank you all for joining us today. Let's begin by starting with the architecture of the Unitask product architecture. I will begin by pointing out that the architecture of Output Director and the Migration Director is similar for the installation. They are sold as a custom EBS application, typically on your APPL top. These products utilize the EBS technology stack for a large part of their design aspects. We create our custom top with a file system that is similar to the Oracle standard. We work with the EBS framework, forms, objects, the Java server pages. We also have items in the responsibilities, menus, flex fields. We create custom Oracle schema and user accounts to store our Java and PL SQL procedures and tables. We have about 10 to 15 tables with the minimal data for our operations. We will have some external files out there to support Java, version control integration, and change control integration. The advantage of the EBS technology stack, US products, when downloaded from our support site, are compressed and zipped to a tarball of just 40 to 50 megabytes. Now let us understand the functionality of Unitask Output Director. We learned that Unitask Output Director is installed in your EBS instance as a custom EBS application, which integrates directly with the concurrent request mechanism. That is a standard Oracle EBS implementation. The application layer communicates with the Oracle concurrent manager. When for printing is initiated, the concurrent manager sends the task to the standard print utility. That utility then prints to the attached printer. This is the extent of our abilities today. Now, let us look at what we can accomplish when Unitask Output Director is added to the EBS environment. The request is still received from the concurrent manager. However, the user has the ability to print, email, fax, and even create a repository of reports for view at a later point in time. This can even be accomplished from the user desktop printing devices. Since Unitask is embedded into Oracle eBusiness Suite, all the security is still maintained. And we are extending the enterprise so that a user can print from anywhere they have the security to print. Exciting, isn't it? The printer you define in EBS has a type, and if that type is not of Output Director, it goes out to the normal mechanism. What makes our printers coexist with all the existing EBS printers defined. One might have some check printers that are configured with the custom printer drivers and styles. For example, your label printing. We can just leave those printers and use other outputs for Output Director. The best features of the Output Director is that it coexists with your existing EBS print drivers and styles. The print driver is Output Director, then it goes to the printer definition, and if it is a Windows server on this print server, it tries to connect to this print server using the credentials we provide and to the print queue on this server. We will have a printer definition called the direct IP printers, also the Internet Protocol or network compatible printers. Connect to the printers wirelessly or through a wire in your network. So we need the printer IP address or the domain name to configure this printer in Output Director. Now, when you set a print, we would just get the IP address and the port and send it to that printer. High-volume big printers are typically IP address. We have an email printer, which is a printer that is set up as an email or a distribution list. In US, it might just look like an XYZ printer, but it is actually an email or a distribution list. Also to enable is the email address and the SMPT port. We all work with the third-party fax services, but we are a fax service provider or a faxing engine. We send output directly to the recipients that are identified in your EBS, and we will send that to your third-party service fax services. We have a pre-compiled integration with eFax, but there is a host of third-party faxing service providers. One of our unique features in the industry is the local print, which allows us to generate an EBS report and send it down to your local computers as a PDF, and then it just pops up on the screen for the user. We call this our local preview. We have some Java applet configured as part of the installation to support this local printing. Once you have this PDF report, you can save it on your local computer or print it to your local printer or send it to your Windows server. We also have a delivery or a storage mechanism that allows us to take that report and save it to a file. This file on the shared drive mounted on your local computer, or this drive could be your directory for a SharePoint to which we can deliver or send the report to. Or we use the FTP or the SFTP to copy that file into another server or in a directory. Some of our customers are using this for archival storage for content report, and our customers are using this to put the report into a web page or a directory for a web application folder where they have a small program in a PHP or a JSP page that takes the directory and presents this report to the service user. One other features we have is called the printer groups or the simultaneous print. Think of this as a printer alias for printing. Have an alias with the printer for your Windows server and a printer for your IP printer and an email. So when you print to this alias, it sends the report to each one of these printers in the alias. This is printer groups, which is great for usually a month-end report that you might want to physically send a printer and at the same time deliver it to directory for archive and also send an email to the user. You can do all of these three using one printer definition, which is our printer group. We also have some additional features with the output director. If your developers use any of the report bursting functionality, you can use our product as the output device for the bursted report. Shipment Api is nothing more than an API that allows your developers to print the record attachments from EBS. As mentioned earlier, we also have Unitask Command Center for Output Director as well as Migration Director. We'll talk about the Command Center at a later point in this webinar. All the features can be used as per your needs. First, start to implement with just one printer and then slowly implement the other printers. I said this ability gives you the nice feature to coexist with what you currently have. It enables you to plan to bring in only one Windows Server printer at a time. Based on specific implementation roadmap, it is very easy to set up a plan that really makes sense for your business environment. With that, now let us look at how these features operate. Unit Output Director provides a unique feature for local printing. Let's submit a simple concurrent request for users of a responsibility and look at local printing options that are provided out of the box with Output Director. Let us see all the parameters that are needed for submitting the request first. And now when we are ready to look at the output options that are available for the Output Director, with the list, notice we can see the different local printing options from output that are provided with the Output Director of your existing EBS printers. Go over a few of these local printing options for this demo. First, pick the local preview option and submit the request. So when this option is selected, as I mentioned earlier in the overview, it automatically pops up the report output as a PDF file for the user to preview before sending it to the printer or saving it as a file. As you can see, the report output has automatically popped up for the user for review. Now, let us submit the same request with a different local printing option, local print and the local print to. The local option prints the report output on the default printer assigned to the user's printer, or when the print to type gives the user an option to pick a specific printer for the output. For that, I'm going to give a quick overview of how the print to option works. Let's quickly take a look at the PC and the list of printers that are configured on this user PC. You will see that once the request is completed, our director presents the user with the same list of printers to choose from to report output to. You see, these are identical, and when a printer is selected, the PDF output flashes on the screen and sends it to the printer selected. This option gives the user the power to print to any printer. Now, let's look at the next local printing option, which is the local mail. We know that local mail printer is nothing but an email or a distribution list defined as a printer. Let us go ahead and submit the request with local mail option. Once the request is completed, it opens the default email account configured on the user PC with the report output attached to the email template and should be sent. Once output is done, as you can see, the email template pops up. Now the user can readily email the output to a desired recipient. Let's quickly go over the two local printing options too, which is the local print raw and local print to raw. Print output as is without conversion to PDF, choose the local print raw options, default printer, or the print to option for your list of printers. This is widely used to print output that contains embedded control characters or formatting commands such as text, labels, and documents containing barcodes. I was able to showcase how Output Director, with its unique local printing features, automates printing options for the user to empowering them to print from anywhere. With that, Shika, can you please give us a brief introduction to Migration Director?
Sure, Ranjita. Now, let us shift gears and know more about Migration Director. For Output Director, we'll first begin by watching a small video on Migration Director.
Once upon a time, there lived two companies, Company A and Company B. Both used Oracle EBS and were happy in the beginning, but soon Company A was struggling and Company B was winning. You see, Manny was Company A's Oracle DBA. He manually migrated code, the old-fashioned way. And with Manny manually moving code in Oracle EBS, it made everything at Company A become quite a mess. Manny was slow in moving code, and when it finally got there, it was often the wrong one, which resulted in error. And doing it manually made everyone late. His boss became furious, and the users irate. They took up torches and pitchforks and started a coup, and began to shout, "Manny, we're coming for you!" Yet everything was a nightmare at Company A, because Manny the Manual was their Oracle DA. Now Company B fared much better than A, because Otto was their Oracle DBA. And why, might you ask, was life better at B? Because Otto didn't change code manually. You see, Otto installed Unitask Migration Director, software that made Oracle EBS apps better. The Migration Director code changed automagically, which made things move in a jiffy and also error-free. And with Migration Director, Otto would now know that code would always make it to the place it should go. Simple as click, change, and you're done. Migration Director made working at B much more fun. And freed up Otto for more important things in life, like going home by 5 to his kids and his wife. Soon, Company B's bottom line was improving, with their code changes automatically moving. Company B's CEO CEO said, migration director's a thing. And with a 6-month ROI, he said it all the way to the bank. The users cheered for Otto at his big thank you party. Yes, life was quite grand at Company B. This tale is a lesson for all who will listen. A coach changes manually is a very poor decision. So don't be a Manny or a Company A. Find Migration Director and automate today.
Awesome. I sure don't want to be Manny the manual DBA. Please share with us how can we use Migration Director to become automated and simplify change management on EBS.
Shika. Now begin by focusing on the Migration Director and let's learn what it has to offer to automate your EBS change migration. As earlier, Migration Director is a bolt-on custom solution for EBS. Migration Director is used to build different migration packages. Customers call it tarballs and code packs. We are Migration Director package. Nothing but a big tarball, a zip file, which consists of scripts provided by us and also part of them from your migration along with EBS objects. The objects are then promoted or deployed to the target instance. So package and download it, and then log into your target instance and upload the package and install the package in the target instance. In a nutshell is UMD. We use UMD in each EBS instance, like your dev instance to build the UMD package, your test instance to test the package, and on production on all of your target instances to implement these changes. As mentioned earlier, the process is in 3 easy steps. Let us begin by looking at how these 3 steps work. One, find the Migration Director package. It has objects from the file system or EBS instance, and the object could be from your database like your table, a PL SQL package, or it could be an empty file or an XML template, a report or a form from your system directory. Anything can be extracted from the EBS file system. The developer will identify the objects for migration and then he'll put them into the package. So when we find our package, we are going to add few additional things, rollback script and the install script. And we are going to put all the documentation for the developer as well as an email notification. Please get tuned into our tarball. The first step is for the developer to identify the objects and build the package. Now we have the package available. The next step is to download the package into the custom Migration Director repository or your version control repository. Standalone Migration Director architecture is without the version control integration. Version control system integration is used when you want to have objects checked in and out of your version control system like GitHub, Dimensions, SVN, PVCS. There are other options available out there. This director integrates with most of these. We check the packages out and put our packages in the version control system. Like we can also integrate with the change control management systems like ServiceNow or Serena. We have the package built and downloaded and saved either to your version control system or your Migration Director repository. We are ready for the installation. That is to our step 3, which is deploying the package that we have built. We view the repository from your source instance and download it to your test, UAT, or production. And if you have the version control integration, you can simply check out the package from the version control system. Developers will just build the package and might have access to one other test environment where they have the test package. And then it is the DBAs who will upload and install the packages in the subsequent instances like your production environment. Obviously, it is going to be the process control you have within your company. Interesting and helpful is that Migration Director lets you undo your mistakes by automatically building the rollback packages for every package that you build and install. package is built and downloaded, we have our rollback script for building the rollback package. So when you install the package in the target instance, the package is automatically built, and it allows you to undo the changes that were installed by just installing this rollback package in the target environment. This enables you to have a zero-error migrations between your instances. So the 3 easy steps involved in performing your change. Now, you might ask, what are objects that can be migrated within an UMD package? We provide around 175 entities that support migration of F&D load entities for your AOL objects, ex-publisher entities, database entities, and application server command entities. So we also provide entities that support migration of Discover objects, workflow, setup wrappers, etc. Get hands-on with this tool and understand how it works. Your options are limitless, as it gives you the ability to define your objects that you want to migrate, and we call them the user-defined objects. The API is another up-and-coming high-usage functionality where you build and deploy the UMD package in your favorite programming language, like a program, Python, or a shell script. Let me now walk you through a demo of how to build, download, and upload a UMD package using few of these entities. When it's installed, it comes with the default custom responsibilities and menu options. Let us do a demo with step 1 of defining the package. You can start by giving your package a meaningful name and description of the package you are going to migrate. Add the list items that will go into building your package. As I mentioned earlier, we provide about 175 out-of-the-box entities to support migration. An AOL object entities like the profile entity for this demo. We have to try and migrate one of the custom UMD profile options. Next, pick an application server entity like the forms FMV file that is stored on your application file system. You can see that the parameters window changes as per the entity to capture the relevant information. It's one of the custom migration director forms and will fill out the other parameter values as needed. Let's pick another F&D load entity for concurrent program migration and choose one of the UMD concurrent program definitions. Excuse me. This is the most widely used entity in migrating a concurrent program and all of its depending objects. With a custom migration director concurrent program as well. Finally, let us add one of our powerful entities, the host command entity. We give you the ability to run the host commands without having to log into the server. We are using the permissions on the utils.sql file, which is saved in our custom Unitask. Let's change the permissions of the file to 775 on the upload. You have the option to concatenate your host commands in one string in a one upload. So let's say OK, and I'm going to quickly show you the permissions of the utils file that we are going to change is not the 775. Now, we are done with adding the items to our package and are ready. The step is to save the package, free the package, and download the package. From the download, it submits a concurrent program with all the parameter values defaulted. If you can control integration, you can check in the downloaded package. For this demo purposes, we are downloading the package to the migration director repository. As earlier in the overview, We submit the download program, we build the package with the list of objects specified, and add our rollback and install scripts, and generate the tar file for the package. Once it's completed, it generates a report that can be used for audit compliance with the contents of the package and who submitted it and when. It's going to take a couple more minutes, a couple more seconds to finish up this request. All right, let's look at the report. As you see, the report displays the profile option as the first line item, followed by the form and then the concurrent program definition. When you pick the concurrent program entity, it includes all the underlying dependent objects like the value sets and the DFS along with the definition. So you include them specifically. And finally, the whole command for changing the permissions. That we have the package downloaded, we can use the View Packages menu option. It displays the list of all packages downloaded in the Migration Director repository. Pick the package and save it to the local PC. I'm sorry, I probably that. View Packages screen, we have the option to download the package and save it to the local PC. If you're using the version control integration, you can skip this step and check out the package from version control integration during the package installation. We are ready to install the package in the target instance. You will have to log into your target instance and select the Upload Package menu option. You would browse to the downloaded package on your local PC and then submit the upload program. As you see, when you click the upload button, it submits another concurrent program to upload the package and install the line objects as part of the migration. The program begins by building the rollback script and then installing the listed entities in the package. This takes another couple of seconds to finish up doing installation and applying the changes in your target instance. Okay, now the upload and the install is complete. Let's do a quick refresh to check the utils.sql file permissions. As you can see, it has been changed. And that successfully completed the change migration in just 3 simple steps: define, view, and upload the packages. I'm all agreed that it is a way simpler and efficiently error-free process than the traditional manual change migrations that are done. Hope was able to show you the core functionality of Migration Director at a high level. I'm going to briefly discuss Unitask Command Center, which enhances both Output Director and Migration Director. Command Center is a standalone application that can be installed on your EBS server or on a local PC. That is by looking at why customers use the Command Center for Output Director. Printer EBSs. As Central Console, Command Center manages all the printers and their configurations for each of the EBS instances. It also provides functionality to manage your printer security. Printer security not only for what users can access on our side of the equation, but our security mechanism works also for non-UOD print devices. Printer security is a feature that restricts the list of printers that you see in EBS, which is that you can add a restriction to see only Detroit printers if you're in Detroit and see only New York printers if you're in New York. Print loading. Let's say if I have a HP4 printer that has a 256 MB memory card, I would flood that in no time. So is set up a printer overload such that if the print is more than a 10 MB or a 5 MB, you direct that print to a more robust pool or to another IP printer with high volume, high capacity. Printer testing. This is the option to copy the printer configurations from one EBS instance, and later the same configurations can be pushed to another EBS instance via the command center. The center also provides some out-of-the-box reports for your printing analysis. Now, let us look at the features of the Command Center for Migration Director. Command Center was designed for simplicity of centralized information and management within multiple Oracle EBS implementations. Migration Director is installed on each Oracle EBS instance. The metadata is also stored within each instance. Command can harvest this information from each instance and provide a central command and control view of the enterprise. Command Center is often used to set the security rules across all EBS instances. Harvesting the packages from one EBS instance and pushing them to another EBS instance is an extremely simple process using the Command Center. And also provides some of the out-of-the-box diff reports to compare specific object attributes between your EBS instances. As you see, that Command Center definitely enhances the usage of both the Unitask suite. With this, let me hand over the stage to Shika so that she can share some use cases and success stories with us.
Thank you, Geeta. All Unitask tools are plug-and-play solutions for instant improvements in your manual EBS environment. Let's understand what has made them so successful so far. Few things that our customers talk to us about. Unitask tools are bolt-on solutions for EBS, so installation only takes 2 to 3 hours. There's no additional hardware cost involved. Unitask has a robust support team which can support your DBAs, developers, and users around the clock. There are any security issues, as Unitask solutions utilize the native EBS security that you already have. For users, it's fast and easy since the look and feel is just like EBS. The benefit of impact analysis and rollback capability in Migration Director has made users extremely happy. Unitask tools are certified for all versions of EBS that currently exist in the market. And to Migration Director, it integrates with almost all version control and change control systems. Decisions to invest in new technology almost always comes down to its price tags. So we will share with you that most of our customers are able to achieve an ROI in 6 months or less. Now, let's see some of the clients that we've worked with over the last few years. These are some of our clients from various industries. Some clients use both our automation tools to get bundle benefits of these automation options, and some of these clients just use output for printing needs and Migration Director for their change management issues. So they decided to focus on 2 specific case studies, which will hopefully help you understand how these work in a real scenario. Let's look at TI. Is an employee-owned engineering, consulting, and construction firm based out of Maryland. KCI was they were growing at a fast speed. A good problem to have. It caused a lot of issues. Rolled out their EBS suite. It supported several HP printers, and that was an okay situation. However, as progress, all users purchased their own printers, not realizing that the printers could not print or output. eBusiness Suite's inability to produce print output as easily and flexibly as some of the other applications like Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel caused repeated support issues for the IT department and concerns with the Oracle user community. So started looking for a solution. By Unitask Output Director, KCI was able to increase their user satisfaction by enabling them to print Oracle output to any local or network printer. They were able to eliminate any manual configurations, which freed a lot of their IT department's time. Office was now print ready, and KCI having multiple locations that was allocated. With compliance and reporting, KCI instantly saw the ROI of Unitask in a matter of 4 to 5 months. Hear from them directly.
Setting up printers involves many steps. Unitask has given you the freedom not to worry about tedious printer setup. This is a considerable time-saving device. Senior Oracle developer at KC Technology.
Thank you. Now I'm going to share a use case study with you about Marvel Technologies. Marvel Technology is based in Santa Clara, California. They have more than 5,000 employees worldwide. Fabulous semiconductor company, Marvel ships 1 billion chips a year. The challenge is as dynamic and fluid as the semiconductor manufacturing industry, business processes continuously needed to change and to adapt, failure to exist. Migrating these enhancements to production could occur only during Marvel's bi-weekly maintenance window. Marvel's DBAs were frequently racing the clock. They had a 14-hour maintenance window every other weekend. In this window, a DBA could be required to migrate up to 20 enhancements, and each of these enhancements could take up to 45 minutes at a time. That's 15 hours of work expected to be completed in a 14-hour window. Obviously, that was not going to work for them. By requiring their DBAs to perform work over weekends and overnight, Marvel was limiting its overproductivity and needed a simpler and faster way. They started looking at solutions in the market. Marvel realized measurable improvements in their EBS suite management process by investing in Migration Director. Now they see a quick turnaround for changes. They can schedule these changes and avoid production downtime. Overall, team's productivity increased and now enjoy error-free migrations. See what Marvel has to tell us.
Nagarajan, manager at Marvel Group. It was a migration process that we used to take 50 hours each week. Let's take 20 minutes using the integration directory.
Thanks, Nagarajan.
I'm Nagarajan.
Sorry about that. I have case studies were able to help you understand the value Unitask automation tools bring to your EBS environment. With that, now let's hear Jim Gormley tell us all about Vigilant Technologies and its experience as he's supporting Oracle customers. Jim, please shed some light on our background.
Certainly. Thank you, Shikha and Ranjitha, and thank you all for joining us today. Vigilant Technologies is a very in-depth Oracle consulting firm. We were founded in 1999. Our founder was an Oracle consultant. We've grown up very focused on the Oracle ecosystem, certainly including Oracle Database, SOA, and Oracle eBusiness Suite. Recently, we've been heavily invested in Oracle Cloud as well. But we're knowing a lot about Oracle EBS, so it was a natural fit for us to acquire the Unitask products years ago, and they've been a great addition to our mix. Our idea as a company is to build in-depth customer relationships where we focus on the customer's needs and priorities, and we innovation, trust, and teamwork to those relationships. So we're helping you to evaluate, pilot, and deploy Unitask, or we're you with overall EBS projects to upgrade or optimize your EBS environment, or even looking to shift it to the cloud We think you'll find that we're a great organization to work with that brings that innovation, trust, and teamwork to everything we do. And behind all our products and services with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, we really mean that. We want our clients to be completely happy and satisfied with our work and what we do. And we're a minority certified partner in both the United States and Canada. A little about our global capabilities. We've dealt with over 50 large-scale ERP and BI deployments. So large EBS projects we're no stranger to those, and we do understand a lot of the tricks of EBS and managing it and maintaining it. And thus, we understand where Unitask fits. 200 senior-level consultants worldwide, many of those embedded with key accounts, other of those working on major projects, both professional services and managed services projects, as well as our tech centers. We're in Europe business with 200 clients served along the way, 200 plus, and are referenceable, just about every industry. You can see we're based in the United States in Troy, Michigan, with offices in Toronto and Hyderabad, India, also an office in Dubai. So we have a global footprint. Some of the things that set us apart as an organization are that we are very focused on cloud. We realize that many organizations are grappling with what their migration to cloud should be. Do they want to move to an on-prem structure, a cloud infrastructure, or do they want to move to a complete SaaS model? We can help your organization evaluate both. We do have services around both those options. We also have a very robust BI practice built around Oracle OBI EE, including some of our own pre-built analytics, and doing practice around Microsoft Power BI as well. But our suite automation tools, which is clearly the topic of today, have a really strong point in our consulting and our customer relationships. Our Omni tool, which is helpful to plan EBS upgrades and that we can assess customizations and their impact on an upgrade. And then we have the Unitask products, as we've been discussing today, both for managing your migrations and managing your output. So we feel that these products are excellent and worth consideration. We're happy to help you explore and pilot the value of these tools in your organization, and we certainly welcome the opportunity to help you with any of your Oracle consulting needs. We have a very robust Microsoft practice as well.
That was a brilliant illustration of our experience and capabilities. Now, 10 minutes left. Let's open the floor to questions. I see a lot of questions pop up while we're presenting, so let me bring them up one by one. Question is a technical question. Maybe Ranjita, you can take this up. Will product work with Harvest, SCM Workbench?
It's a repertory, I think.
It does work with, if the CSM is integrated with EBS, it does work with it does harvest those printers that are enabled with that. So all the printers that are configured in your EBS environment are readily available from the command center to harvest them.
Thank you, Geeta. I hope you were able to answer that question. The next question is, all objects can be deployed on the run edition of EBS. How does Migration Director handle that? How is this customer's code repository?
Okay. For most part, when you're doing your migrations, the migrations are typically installed on your run file system. If you have a specific need to install your migrations on a non-run file system, like a patching file system, we definitely provide you with some custom options to support that migration.
Thank you. The question is with regards to Output Director. Restrict the list of values to show only the printers that are applicable to a particular department or user. Then what would you say to that?
Yeah, absolutely. We do that by using one of our command center features called the Printer LOB Security, as I mentioned earlier. All you would need to do is define a responsibility based on your accounting department or your HR department, and you will be able to see only the printers that are specific for those departments, including our output director local printing.
Okay. The next question that we have is schedule the change migration process.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can definitely schedule the change migration process. Since Marketing Director product is tightly integrated with Oracle EBS request mechanism, we request as our concurrent program to download or install the packages, as we have seen in a demo earlier. Just like any other concurrent request in EBS, you can schedule to run these programs as per your convenience.
Right. Moving on to the next question. Unitask tools support all modules within EBS, specifically the integration and use with BI Publisher.
Unitask Output Director as a concurrent manager for output in an environment, it is pretty much a transparent Oracle layered solution, and it provides a full range of support for any and all native Oracle EBS modules. So Output Director supports your application suite's integration with infinitely greater ease as well as significantly greater flexibility and efficient way any number of devices or methodologies that are optimal for your implementation.
Thank you.
Let me add one comment here. The question about harvest, we all talk about harvesting printers, part of our output director. I think this question relates to the code repository. So Unitask Migration Director does have APIs to talk to most of the leading version control systems and code repositories. So I believe.
Absolutely. Sorry, I was confused with the term harvest, so I took it by default to be the printer harvesting. As mentioned, we do integrate with most of the version controlling systems that are available out there. And if you have a specific version control system, like in your case, Harvest is your code repository, we can definitely spin up a custom integration for your to support your code repository to perform migration.
Now let's look at the next question. Does Output Director inject a significant amount of overhead on my systems or the network?
Not. Unit Output Director has been designed to be enterprise-enabled and minimally intrusive on your network or your server operations. I mean, the Output Director is designed to accommodate a global implementation where network bandwidth may be a concern, as well as that of a server capacity, or have a connectivity ranging from VPN tunneling through a high-speed or a private network. I mean, when you fully consider, Output Director generates the same approximate amount of overhead as that of a refresh page or a refresh request to your concurrent request screen. There's absolutely not any kind of an overhead on your system.
Maybe you'd like to answer this one. How many customers do we currently have using Unitask tools, and can we provide any references?
Absolutely. We have over 40 active customers today using the Unitask products, and they're all referenceable. They're in just about every industry, ranging from large shops to smaller environments. We're happy to provide those references.
Thank you, Jim. Maybe one more for you, and this is a Vigilant-related question. The question is, can Vigilant assist with EBS projects?
Vigilant is first and foremost an Oracle consulting firm with a very deep bench of Oracle resources. We're happy to assist with professional services projects such as upgrades, health checks, etc., cloud migrations. We also provide managed services for application managed services if you want us to help you manage and monitor your overall environment on an ongoing basis. And again, we have many reference customers we can connect you with if you're to research that.
Thank you, Jim. At this point, I don't see any more questions. So I hope we were able to answer everything that you had doubts about today. Now, let's plan a call to action to ensure that our time spent today is more valuable. I'm able to demonstrate in detail the value and benefits of Unitask automation tools. Within 24 hours, you will now receive a personal call from me and my team members, and we would like to speak with you on a case-by-case basis about how these tools can address the specific needs that you have in your environment. Please take a moment to note what you find most compelling about our solution, how using these suite of products will provide value to each of your team members, and detailed information you would find helpful to know more about these solutions. We're sharing a copy of this webinar with you. Meanwhile, please feel free to get in touch with either Jim, Ranjita, or I if you have questions. I'd like to thank you all for your time and for attending this virtual learning experience. Have a great day, everyone.